and welcome to the Town of Munster show. This is January 20th, and it's probably 0, 4, 5 degrees outside. And I do have a guest here. I have Chief Mark Hyduke, and we're coming to you from WJOB 1230 AM and 104.7 FM. And I heard some words that there's a podcast, or we're seen over YouTube, and we're in the interim station studios. This goes back for me to 2008 when I started in this area. We used to huddle around a microphone and get some information and share some things about what was going on with Munster. And but anyway, Chief Hyduke has agreed to come in today and talk to us about fire department, answer questions, see what we have going on. And we've got a few ideas of things I'd like to talk about. And let's see if there's anything else I need to cover before we get going. But anyway, this is the Town of Munster show. My name is David Nellens. I'm the councilman from Ward 4. And I enjoy being involved with the show and having the guests and that with us. So I wanted to talk initially with the chief about the new tower ladder truck we've talked about at the council meetings. And those of you that have come to the meetings or have viewed the meetings on YouTube, it's quite a piece of equipment.
Yes, it is. It is an elevated platform aerial. We have one now. It's a 2001 American LaFrance. Unfortunately, the time that it served is coming to its end. Typically, fire apparatuses are good for 20 years. So we've been looking and started planning on purchasing one, and there was one that was available. I brought it to the council and explained the reasons that we needed it, and the council approved it. It is a 100-foot tower ladder. It does have pumping capabilities on it. It will seat 6. It will have rescue tools on it, hearse tools. It will have hoses on it for normal firefighting, what people historically look at a fire engine about. It will still have that capability, but it also has a master stream.
What's that mean, a master stream?
It is a large nozzle out the basket area.
Okay.
And that can be done remotely from the ground or up in the basket to shoot water out of that nozzle. And that'll come out at about 2,000 gallons a minute, which is a lot of water. Use that on commercial structures when the fire's gotten out of hand.
Now, does this engine have its own pumper?
Yes.
Its own pump?
It's got its own pump on there. It's a 2,000 gallon a minute pump.
So you would then drop a hose, hook onto a hydrant. This unit has its own pump?
Yes. We typically have another engine supply us, but we can tap a hydrant with just that apparatus. It does carry 300 gallons of water on it. That's typical for most aerial trucks that have a pump on it.
Okay, now when you say it has a 100-foot ladder,
yes,
how high does that allow you to reach?
Well, it's
in terms of stories.
Depending on the building, how close you can get it. I mean, max, if you're right up against the building, you're talking about 10 stories. But typically, you have landscaping, sidewalks around all properties. For Munster, we should be able to reach the roof area of just about everything we have. The highest building that we have currently is 6 stories.
And you probably don't want to be right next to the building because you have debris might be dropping or...
Yes, and yes, you have collapse zones. There's calculations how far you should be away or where you should be in placement.
And then anticipated delivery of this unit?
We should have it in January of 2027.
Okay.
Typically now, just for the general population, it's a 3 or 4 year wait. With the situation with this one, In fact, there was a municipality that purchased it, and then they had a catastrophic failure with their own, and they could not wait any longer. And there was another one that was available. It was a little different, but at that point they were behind the gun, and they said, all right, we'll buy this one. So that one was kind of already in the queue being processed.
So they had to move forward because they were catastrophic failure. They had to get one,
Yes.
and that opened up the one to be available.
Right.
And so many things we're seeing, even in the trucks for public works. We're talking 3-year deliveries
Right.
in that neighborhood.
Right, and that's all left over from COVID. Everything started then, and it has not subsided, in my opinion.
Now, you mentioned how many crew members can ride in the cab,
So 6 can ride in that cab. There's seats for 6.
and this is a bigger cab. This is a big cab.
Yes.
I don't know if I use the term Chicago cab or.
There's one bigger, but for what we do with it and the way that we've engineered stuff, we couldn't put the more people in there. There's one for 8 personnel to sit in, but then the front axle would be overloaded, overweight, and there isn't a bigger front axle. We could probably try and re-engineer it, but then you're talking more time and more money.
But 6 it sounds like a
Oh,
good
yeah.
number.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I'm going to ask the question, and what color is this engine going to be?
It is red. It is going to be red. Our typical red that Munster uses. It's a little darker than a lot of off-the-shelf fire apparatuses, but that's traditionally what we've kept with, and we're going to stay with that. Red with a black top.
Black top.
Yep.
Okay.
And black reflective stripes down the side.
Well, I'm looking forward to this. I'm really excited about it. And we started talking about the current unit. I was on the council when that got approved
Yes.
back in 2001.
Actually, 2000 was the beginning of it. That was a municipal bid bond with Indianapolis. So they kind of spec'd it, and we jumped on that spec. And in fact, I was on the spec crew of that when we did that.
Well, I think it's good. I'd like to see Munster be a leader. I like to make sure we have the right equipment for the job and that we offer this safety net for our community and have this equipment available to work and protect the lives of many people here in the community. Mm-hmm. And as I talk about, I call it Munster is a medical mecca. We have 2 world-class hospitals. We have the height that this can handle, and we want to make sure things are safe. So, anyway, the 1939
Aaron's Fox.
Aaron's Fox. Now, that's one that we're going to be pulling back.
Yes. So that was Munster's actual first true fire engine. They had one before that. It was kind of a pickup truck. It was a Dodge. But this was the first fire engine that Munster had. Munster sold it in the early 80s, maybe late 70s. It's went through 2 owners. It is out on the East Coast right now, and that owner has decided to retire. I think he's in his 80s.
Is that like in a collection?
Yes. It has been in a lot of water shows, a lot of parades out on the East Coast. Antique fire apparatuses are huge on the East Coast. He contacted me, it's been about a year ago, and asked if he would want us to have that back. He also stated it still retains all the original paperwork that the town of Munster released then.
Wow.
To include purchases, everything. And our Firefighters Association did some good PR with it, and they've collected money through donations. And in a cooperation with the town of Munster, they're donating the money to the town of Munster to purchase this fire truck back.
Wow, wow. Plus, we have the 1948 Mack.
Yes. That one, in a technical sense, has never been taken out of service. That's a plan of the association to also go through that and clean it up some. Again, 1948, never taken out of service. There's a lot of wear and tear on it. We still utilize it for parades and whatnot, but we just want to clean it up, redo some chrome on it, and they're doing funding for that.
Right, you had talked about that you're looking for funding to help do some restoration and get her cleaned up. And I know it's always, council has, for a number of years now, ridden on the 48 Mac. And I know you have it out for the open house, and folks line up to take a ride on that. It's
National Night Out Against Crime. We use it a lot. It's a good public relations piece. That really doesn't cost anything.
that we have it there. So, Chief, you and I talked about that you're offering something for houses with respect to being able to access them, your home Knox boxes.
So the town of Munster has used Knox boxes on commercial buildings for approximately 30 years.
Yes.
They're very safe and secure. They are a fortified safe that goes on the outside of the building. There was a home residential box. It was quite expensive. It was almost just like the commercial one in size. And Knox has come up with a home box, which is this flyer that I have right here. And we have to approve it for use in our town, which we have done. And it is for anybody that wants to put this on their house. They might have medical issues or just a little of peace of mind. That
if something happened, if you fell in your house and couldn't get up, and someone comes to help you, they don't have to, be the fire department, they don't have to knock in the door.
Right.
Which is a big expense to replace a door.
Right. When we were instituting this, because it is an ordinance in the town for commercial properties, we had some people push back because the box is expensive, but you're paying for security. You know, it's a well-made box. It's very controlled how that box is opened. So people complained about it, and I would tell them, if we have to go through your front door, you're going to pay triple the amount this box would pay.
Absolutely.
You would have to pay on this box. So this box is about $225. It's a one-time purchase. You will put in your order request on knoxbox.com, knoxbox.com.
And how much was that?
Approximately $225. I think it's $227 to be exact. It's a one-time fee.
And 15 cents?
Yeah. It's a one-time fee. Once you order that box will be delivered to your house. And if you need be, the fire department would install the box for you. What needs to take place once the box is installed, you have a key to your door. You would call the fire department. We would come out, put that key in that box, and secure that box. Now, if you have an issue, just like you said, you've fallen, you can't make it to the door, but you had the phone with you, you're able to call. We would get there, EMS would get there, or PD would get there. If we can't make entry, then we would utilize that box to open the door. It also works the opposite way also, meaning if, we have to make entry to a house and something major has happened to that person, we have the ability to re-secure that house with the key and lock it up and lock the box. Whereas before, if we had to break down the door, then there's an additional cost of board up.
Sure, the board up and plywood crew to come out.
Right, and they had to be certified because you're securing somebody's property. It's just a whole lot easier to be able to utilize this for emergencies.
Well, that sounds to me, I've been familiar with the Knox boxes at the commercial buildings and the hospital. We even have one there just in case that entrance is closed or whatever.
Right.
But it makes a lot of sense. The key is secure. It's handled with responsible people, and it does allow someone to gain access. Because you could have one of those
Pennants
around your neck, and maybe a family member's not available to come or too far, and you can notify. But yes, to have a door replaced, it could be thousands of dollars.
Absolutely.
And then it takes time, and it's disruptive, and then you got the board up and all that. In talking about homes and situations there, I was asking Chief here about smoke detectors and doing a an audit or a survey to help someone. If I don't know where to put the smoke detectors, and
So we have coupled with the Red Cross almost 2 years now, and they do a smoke detector program. And coupled with us, we've done smoke detector blitzes in different areas of town, and we're moving forward with that. We will go across the whole town to do this. But in the meantime, if somebody has questions about their smoke detector or doesn't have any, they can call the fire station, and we will come out with their approval and assess their house or assess their smoke detectors or CO detectors that they have. And if they're out of date, we can install new smoke detectors for them.
wow, that's quite a service. And is there a number that they can call
Yes.
to leave a message?
Yes, they can call 219-836-6960. That phone is manned during the day, Monday through Friday, from approximately 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. But after hours, there is a message machine that you can leave a message with. We don't want people calling 911 for this. They need to call the fire station non-emergency, and we'll get that scheduled for them.
And conversely, you don't want folks to be calling this number if they think they have a fire or if they
Right.
smell something in the house.
Right.
That's a 911.
Right.
And get it up on the board and get things happening.
Yes.
Because this number may not always be manned.
Right.
And if it's an emergency situation, call 911. Even if you think it might be maybe emergency situation, 911.
Yes. And that includes, I'm going to sidebar here real quick, that includes smells outside your house. We've had some things go on in community over time, and people will call Public Works because there's a smell outside. Well, that's not the right number to call. You need to call 911. Well, it smells like gas outside. Okay. Why'd you call Public Works? It doesn't make sense.
Well,
You
they're
call
not
911.
sure.
Yeah.
They're not sure.
Call 911. If it's something like a gas smell or anything like that, call 911.
Or even if you think something is suspicious, and this can go along
Yes.
with directing towards police.
Yes.
If something's going on and you're not sure, you're the resident that lives in that neighborhood. You know what's normal and what appears to be abnormal. Call 911
Right. Exactly.
and let them know and get someone dispatched to help.
Mm-hmm.
It's what is it? If you see something, say something.
Right. Right.
And if it ends up being nothing, so be it. But it could be a
Something.
real problem,
Yes.
and we want to make sure that happens.
Let me come back to smoke detectors and CO detectors. Especially right now in the wintertime, everybody should at least have one CO detector in their house. Whether it's a CO detector or a smoke detector, the life expectancy on them is only 10 years. So people might have one up there and they change the battery continuously, and it's been up there for 25 years. It's no good anymore. You need to get that changed out. When we were doing a smoke detector blitz, we actually found a 51-year-old smoke detector.
Wow.
It appeared to still work, but it was not working. It was not picking up anything anymore. But if you push the test button, the alarm went off. So they thought it was still good. So just an interesting thing. We have that as a storytelling thing sitting at our station.
Absolutely. Now, I think some the detectors or the CO monitors come with a 10-year battery.
Yes, that's kind of been the push for a lot of manufacturers, just to make it a sealed unit. 10 years. At 10 years, you get an alarm that signifies that its life expectancy is done, and you change them now.
And quite honestly, if you don't know how old a smoke detector is or CO detector is, they're not ridiculously expensive.
No.
And if in doubt, change it.
Exactly.
And you certainly could call the fire department, get an assistance, have someone come and check it out, and more than likely you would put a new one in.
Right. Along with the smoke detectors, if we come out, there's another form that we have, and we do what we call a home safety check inspection. And we just look at exits, brief electrical, extension cord use, those kind of things. And there's a checklist that we sign off on and leave a copy. And if they need assistance correcting any of that, we can direct them in the right place.
Well, I just want to remind everybody that this is the Town of Munster show, and we're being broadcasted over WJOB 1230 AM and 104.7 FM. And we just got the notice here that we're moving right along in our time, so I want to hit a couple things. One, Chief, you and I talked about the Opticom.
Yes.
And folks may be aware of that white light that blinks at intersections.
So the way that the Opticom works in Munster, we have transmitters on our police cars, fire apparatuses, some of our EMS vehicles, and it changes the light so we get the green light as we're pulling up. And it was light emitting diodes, LEDs. That technology's been around for a long time. Munster was one of the first ones in Indiana to get this Opticom. We've well outlived its life expectancy of the system that we have. There's a new system out that's GPS. This GPS system is really, there's a lot of data it collects. And for example, if you're driving down a street and you're coming to a stoplight, it will change that stoplight so your direction gets the green light. If we have our turn signal on and there's a stoplight around the corner, it will start manipulating that stoplight also. That's how smart it is.
Wow.
It also, within that system, picks up your speed and tries to estimate the time you'll get at that intersection so the intersection's light is green and somewhat cleared of traffic. What we have done, Munster is a lead agency, and there's 5 other communities that are involved in this, and I think it's 12 agencies within them communities that have all got together and got a grant for half of it, and we're going after the next part of that half of grant through NERC. And yes, we are the lead agency. We've started it. We've got half the money to do it, and we're moving along with the engineering.
There we go. And I want to mention, too, that our departments here in Munster do work as diligent as they can to find grants.
Yes.
And there is money in many cases out there. You just have to have your story, have the paperwork submitted, and gets reviewed. And we've been very successful over the years in getting grants. And like this one, to update the Opticom, because I think Chief and I were talking about it's about 30 years old-ish.
Yes.
In that range. Well, technology has changed.
Absolutely. Another problem that we've had with it is we can't get parts for it anymore. It's
there
just
we
time
go.
to change it.
Chief and I did talk about that we do have a baby box.
Yes. So we have a baby drop box. It's located at our station on Fisher, 550 Fisher Street. It's made for people that can't take care of their child or don't want it, whatever the situation is. It's made to be dropped off anonymously. If someone does drop a baby off in the box, an alarm goes off a few seconds later, and then an outside alarm, meaning a call out for that baby box. It gives that person time to leave. It's secure, it's heated and cooled.
Because I asked, even at this temperature, it's 0.
Yes. No, it's nice and warm in there. We have sensors in there that tell us if the temperature drops below or is too hot. But it is heated and cooled. And it's unfortunate, but it's a good place to be able to securely drop a baby instead of dropping it, whether it's in the woods or something like that. We don't want to have that.
Right. We don't want to have that happen. And I was there for the dedication of that box.
Yes.
It's a very nice addition to the town that we have that opportunity. If it's never used,
That's great.
That's great. But if someone is in need of that service, we have it. It's available, and as you mentioned, it's anonymous.
Yes.
And things are set up with the hospitals to be able to take that baby in and have it checked out and that.
Yes.
So. Well, let's see, Chief, we've covered a number of things here, and as you mentioned, we'd probably fill up the time, and I'm getting notified here that we're coming down to just a few minutes, so we have to wrap it up. So, Chief, anything you want to say in a closing comment?
Nope, just if anybody's ever got any questions about any kind of safety thing in their house or even in a business, call your local fire department, because I know there's other people listening that don't live in Munster, but there is non-emergency numbers listed for all your local fire departments. If you're unsure or you have a question about a detector, just call. We'll take care of it for you.
And if you're in a group that you want to have a speaker come, you can provide that through
Absolutely.
the local
Yes.
fire department can have someone come and
Yes.
speak on a lot of the subjects.
We've done some HOA presentations. We go into apartment buildings or condo complexes and do some safety talks and question and answer. Absolutely, that is always available.
There we go. So you've been listening to the Town of Munster show. Again, I have Chief Mark Hyduke here with me, and my name is David Nellens, and we appreciated you listening to us today.
Yeah.
And we made our way out, and I don't know if it's up to 6 degrees or something outside, but anyway, it's winter time, and thank you very much for listening to the show.